Hello and welcome to another edition of Shoulders Above the Rest Radio. I'm your host, Brendan, and I'm a little bit delayed in this video because I just have not been able to make a decision on what I think will be in 23.3. And so I'm going to talk through my process pretty quickly. I actually made a whole other video that was almost like 20 minutes long, and I was like, I didn't like the workout I came up with. I've come up with a different one. I didn't like how long it was, so we're going to try and do this quickly. So, in short, the way I've been approaching my thought process with this is I am assuming that Boz is trying to do a well-balanced test that will challenge people in different time domains, different movement patterns, different rep schemes, different modalities, excuse me, and all while trying to give a test that kind of features the main programming elements of CrossFit. And those main elements are, you've got couplets, like we saw in 23.2a, so that's just a pairing of two movements. We have single modality things like the 1 rep max thruster. That was a standalone scored event, so that would be considered a single modality. And then you have chippers, which we saw in 23.1, where you have a series of movements that you just gradually make your way through. Typically with chippers, once you're done with the movement, you're just kind of done. But since it was for the open and it was a repeat, they made it where it was an AMRAP, right? So if you finish the muscle-ups, you got back onto the rower, but still chipper style. Usually chippers are 4 or more movements. And so what that leaves in terms of like classic traditional CrossFit is a triplet. Triplets are a combination of 3 movements, usually done rounds for time, sometimes usually done as AMRAPs, but can be done as rounds for time, but we haven't done any workouts for time. So that would be another added level of variance to this test. 23.1, I would say, would be a gymnastics biased workout. So your ability to do toes to bar and then really muscle ups were kind of the main sticking points in that. Like, obviously, yes, the barbell got heavy for some people, but for most athletes, it was about, could you get through the toes to bar, or how quickly could you get through them, and then how many muscle ups can you do? So that was a kind of a gymnastics based one. 23.2 is once again pretty gymnastics based. It really came down to how quick of a pace could you keep up on those burpee pull-ups. The shuttle runs really didn't make a huge difference in that event. Obviously they added to it, but it wasn't like the sticking point of the workout, right? And so we haven't seen a workout yet where monostructural movements, which are things like rowing, biking, running, or jump rope, are the main limiters. And when you look at the equipment list that's left over, jump rope obviously stands out. Double unders have been in every open so far. So I would say it's a pretty safe bet to say we're going to see double unders this week. And I think they are going to be kind of the, maybe not the most noticeable element of the workout on paper, but in the actual workout, I think they will be one of the main pieces that separates athletes. So what I'm thinking based on this is we're going to have a triplet that's going to feature a weightlifting movement, monostructural, which will be double unders, and then gymnastics. So a nice balanced test, because we've kind of had, we had a balanced test with 23.1 in terms of those movements. 23.2 was, there was weightlifting with the 2B. But that event being so biased towards weightlifting, I think, skewed things a little bit as of right now. So I think we're going to see something that's more gymnastics and monostructural focused in this event, 23.3, to kind of balance that score out. So let's jump right into it. What do I actually think the workout is going to be? It's going to have two main elements to it. So I got this idea from a different comment on a Instagram post that I saw. Christian Harris is a former games athlete. I think he's been an individual. I know he's been on a team, but anyways, he posted a workout that I actually thought was pretty cool. It was like a two-parter. We have seen two-part workouts before where you do a couple rounds of one pairing, a couple rounds of another pairing. So anyways, that's what I'm leaning towards here is two different triplets. Both will be in the shorter realm. We've had a 14-minute AMRAP. We've had a 15-minute AMRAP plus those 5 minutes for thrusters. So basically a 20-minute piece. Rep-wise, we've been kind of in that moderate to a kind of high, but mostly in that moderate rep range. On the low end for 23.2, we were probably in our, most people somewhere in the 90s. And on the high end, you had a handful of athletes getting in the 180s, but most everyone was in somewhere in the 130s to 160s, right? And so I think this workout is going to have high rep, and that's going to mostly come through the double unders. So the first triplet is going to start with a new implement that we haven't seen in the open before. It was on the equipment list, and that's going to be the kettlebell swing. Let me quickly pull up. I've made a couple changes to my reps here on what I think they're going to be. So with my thought being this is going to be a shorter workout, the reps on the other movements are going to be super high. So we're going to start with 15 kettlebell swings. Then you have 75 double unders, 5 wall walks. That's going to be for 3 rounds. Now, there's only 3 weights listed on the equipment list, and the 70-pounder, the heaviest one, they have said you won't need that till quarterfinals or the later stages. And so that leaves us with the 35 and the 53. So I'm thinking that the RX will be doing full overhead swings, and Scaled is going to be doing shoulder height or Russian swings. And then obviously double unders, and then those 5 wall walks with Scaled being a limited range of motion on the wall walk. So that's part A. I mean, I don't think it's actually going to be labeled as part A. I think it'll all be scored the same. But then that'll immediately lead into 3 rounds of 15 dumbbell box step overs, which that checks off 2 items on the equipment list that we haven't seen yet, dumbbells and boxes. So 15 dumbbell box step overs, 75 double unders again, and then 15 handstand push-ups. So there's that sort of the wall walks and the handstand push-ups are a gymnastics element, but they're not so high in reps that they're really going to be like the main linchpin. But when you add up those double unders, so it's 3 rounds of each of those parts, you're looking at 225 double unders per triplet. And so a total of 450 double unders. So again, like on paper, you're looking at, oh my gosh, we got kettlebell swings, we got wall walks, we've got these dumbbell box step overs, handstand push-ups. Yeah, there's the double unders, but you're not thinking about, all right, with the limited time frame. So I'm thinking this is going to be under 12 minutes. And the elite athletes will probably finish under 12 minutes, with most people getting a score of a certain amount of reps by that 12-minute mark. And just for fun, just because I think it would be really cool and we haven't ever done it before, I'm going to actually say that we're going to have a second part B. We're going to have another 2-part workout. And so 23.3A will be those first 2 triplets. Again, 3 rounds for time, 15 kettlebell swings, 75 double unders, 5 wall walks, followed immediately by 3 rounds of 15 dumbbell box step overs, 75 double unders, 15 handstand push-ups. You'll have a 12-minute time cap on that. Best in the world will blaze right through that. The rest of us will be fighting to finish it. And then 23.3B at the 12-minute mark will be a 300-foot handstand walk for time with, let's say a 3-minute time cap. I actually just kind of threw that on there. So maybe that part B won't be there. I just think it would be kind of fun. We had a part B that is just weightlifting. So it super kind of skews the leaderboard right now towards people who are super strong. So why not balance that out with something that just goes gymnastics? We've got a ton of monostructural in 23.3A. So that will favor those people who are more conditioned. Obviously, you will have to have some strength for those kettlebell swings and dumbbell box step overs, and some gymnastic skills for the wall walks and the handstand push-ups. But then, yeah, let's just see who's gymnasty, who can get after that 300-foot handstand walk for time. So that's what I'm thinking. 2 triplets, and then just for fun, maybe another 2-parter with a gymnastics focus there to level things out. So let me know what you think in the comments. Tell me what movements you think where I'm wrong, what else might be in it, what your guesses are, and see you guys at the gym.